obviously the buffs and nerfs that have just been announced in playtest, and I've been given the responsibility of sharing it with you guys. But these are not finalized. As always, I do need to keep stressing that on all these changes. Don't go out for today and go, oh, I'm going to go invest in that bot and then complain if a month down the line it's reverted or changed. These are still always in testing and nothing is finalized. Now, chances are, if some of these bots have had a buff, then yes, they will still have a buff. Just to what degree? They might be less useful, but if they've had a buff, then chances are they're on the list that they need to be made better. So they were better, regardless, but to what extent is still up for debate. But I think it picks a lot of things that are just easy fixes, some quick fixes, no massive reworks, nothing, just a tweak here and there to give some bots a bit of a buff. So first on the list is Rust, Dust and Scavenger. Now my argument for them was that Rust Dust never matched Skids. So what you would find is that Skids would sit right back and have a great range, and Rust Dust ran ahead and still wouldn't have the same range and died. So what happened before, like I said, Rust Dust would jump ahead and have less range than Skids, but now, put Skids down, got night stick on both of them, you see sort of range there, but now we put Rust Dust down, you see there, that Rust Dust range, as she gets next to him, matches Skids, so now we can sort of combo him, take an area out. She is going to run ahead, Rust Dust, but you see now, we can actually combo the two to take a nice area out, like I feel like they were designed to do, if I'm honest with you. I still like the fact that Rust Dust is not ranged, but I feel like that sort of gives you scope to say this combo is really good, but then you need to manage, obviously manage Rust Dust. So we can do Rust Dust there, and then match it with Skids, take that area out there. Do the same with Skids over there, Rust Dust over there. And you can see now they can take out some really good areas with the two of them. And you see there, literally, like I said, Rust Dust has died. But you see there, some really cool areas to take out. So yeah, I like that change. It's a good change. Next bot on the list is Chromia. So, for me, Chromia, when she got changed, I understood it. And I said this to Dale. I said, I understand the change because when leveling bots and soloing bases, getting stun locked by Chromia meant end of the battle. That was it. It was infuriating, and I'm an experienced player, so I can understand lower level players getting even more infuriated, maybe even in wars with this. So I understand the change, but I think it was taken too much to one direction. We've had to sort of build it up again. So the shock tower will have 130% of your health, so a bit of a buff. So it has more health now, the shock tower. 100% of your damage, which is pretty cool. And then every 4 seconds it disables for 3 seconds. So before, or in live right now, it was 4 seconds disabled for 2. But we just found that what happened was it was 4 for 2, and then the bots just for 2 seconds pounded on the shock tower, and it died easily. So the 4 seconds and 3 second disable is a bit better. After 30 seconds upon destruction, it explodes, dealing 3.5 times damage. And enemies hit by the explosion take 60% extra damage now, 15 seconds. So that's improved. So let's give her a whirl on live on against my base. So I feel like Chromia was always really good on defense, but can we make her a bit more viable on offense maybe? So let's put her on this side, I think. I think the trick might be the other side because there's 2 shock towers there, so let's see how long that tower lasts on the other side. So you can see there, the disable's in there as well. Also doing a great amount of damage. There we go, cool amount of damage. Try and get in range of something else. Let's put up there a minute. Try and get some other use out of her. Should maybe put some sort of healing core on, I think. But you can see the core now lasting a lot longer. See that glass gas now taking effect in an area. So yeah, pretty cool. Let's give her a go on defense, see how she does on there. So we go pipes, and we'll go like that. Obviously, he has stun immunity. It's part of the tech tree. Push my head. You can see there now the tower's taking a bit longer to destroy. The bots are really struggling. I feel like an ability will obviously kill it, but natural DPS just not taking it out. It's taking a while. And then when it dies, damage in an area, glass gas. So yeah, not bad. I think it could be interesting on defense how it's gonna work. Given that 6% glass gas could be absolutely crazy on defense. And I think it's good that there's some bots on this list that are making obviously defense maybe a bit easier, but we're giving some more bots a bit more of a viable increase on defense even. Next update is Tigerhawk and Waspinator. So Tigerhawk and Waspinator have been changed to 4+3 from 5+3, a slight cost reduction. They got the crowd buzzer, which is really good. Obviously, there's going to be counters for that in build bots. But I feel like the damage is obviously in a bit of a closed area, and so not as good as swoop. But also doing electric damage as well, which obviously couples with Tigerhawk's crowd buzzer now, don't forget, because the two elements combine. So it's going to be interesting how this sort of changes Tigerhawk, especially maybe in an outpost with the electric and the crowd buzzer stacking on top of each other and multiplying like acid and fire does. Interesting. Next, we've got Metal Hawk, and Bomb Burst. So, Metal Hawk and Bomb Burst are going from 3+3 to 4+4 and getting a cost increase. It is kind of crazy that for 3 ability points, you can target at long range, drop damage, make them blind, and attack speed at 6% for 25 seconds. It is a crazy amount of time. I know they were doing too much before. They were getting the G1 cores bonus on their ability 11, so that has been changed now, and the G1 has actually moved to the G1, rightly so. But yeah, small increase to 4+ for the Metal Hawk. Next up, so me and Dale had a big debate about this, and Cheetor has gone from 4+2 to 3+2. Do I think this will make Cheetor relevant? No, I don't. He also talked about reducing his speed from 2.7 as well, possibly. But I feel like all scouts need that. I don't really think it's. But I think the big one for me is his G1 core. His G1 core for me is pretty awful. It helps him by giving him health and immunity when below 30% health. But Cheetor just loses health that fast that when he goes below 30% health, he's dead. That's it. He takes a lot of damage very quickly. He becomes a frontline tank without any protection. Now, we could just simply say, give him a shield. But, on my channel, I always say, let's just put shields on everyone. It's just boring. Give everyone a shield. Yeah, he gets out in front. Give him a shield. Yeah, he rushes in. Give him a shield. He lacks health. Give him a shield. He always dies. Give him a shield. That's all you ever hear about these bots. So, I wouldn't like him to have a shield. I'd like him to have something else. Whether that's increasing his DPS heal in his ability, I don't know. But it'd be interesting to see what they sort of do with Cheetor and try and make him a bit more relevant. The cost decrease is welcomed. It's valid. But the big question is, what else can they do with this bot as well? Next up may surprise some people, but next up is Blaster and Soundwave. So they have sort of fell away from the meta just a bit. But what they've done is they've increased his max health to 42,000 at the 5-star. It's only about 5k extra health. It's nothing crazy amount of damage. It's not a crazy amount of health. So when you compare 42k to the likes of, Beachcomber at 58k, the likes of Pipes at 58k, bots like that, he's still way off what other warriors have and other bots have. But I feel like Blaster and Soundwave did need a bit of a buff in some way, and a HP increase obviously filters into the minions as well, which is important. It makes the minions last longer as well. So yeah, good buff to Blaster to try and just give him a bit more usage. Next up, we've got Astrotrain and Springer. So obviously mine's still at 62.7. It's not ability 11 yet. What I've done for Astro and Springer is that a few of us agreed that the area support is fine. It rushes to a bot, it heals, it does what it's supposed to do. Everyone uses that ability. The question was the defensive perimeter. Defensive perimeter is pretty awful. So launch 8 missiles, each dealing X amount of electrical damage and disabling for 6 seconds, and then gain a damage reduction shield for the same duration. So the problem with it was that it taunted. We don't want it to taunt, especially with taunts working now. It means everyone's going to target that bot. And with him having 15k health, it just doesn't make sense. He's not a tank. Yes, he's got a 70% damage reduction shield, but only for 6 seconds, so it's not really ideal. But now the defensive perimeter will cost 4+4 rather than 6+3. So it's going to have a cheaper first cost, but then a more expensive repeat cost. I think that's in a bit of a worry for backdoors of just getting behind, just going stun, 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 stun. But you can at least use it once now, and it should do a pretty much decent job. But I think the biggest change is that it prioritizes defenses. Before, it would just hit whatever, it would just hit resource buildings, whatever was closest and be wasted. Whereas now it prioritizes defenses, which is pretty cool. And then I think this is a big change and could really help in wars. I really do. The next change is for Hound. So Hound is being reduced from 6+2 to 3+2. That's a massive decrease, and that's because literally it's so little damage and it's still sort of random as well. And so I sort of spoke to Dale and said, listen, the problem is that it's so random. And I said that I actually wanted this guy to be a 5-star because I wanted a rework of some kind to make him better, and he never got it, which I was really frustrated about. But I feel like the cost reduction to 3+2 might make it a bit more viable on front-loaded bases, taking those resource buildings out at the front, and then maybe use another box to clear up, and can maybe help people get through these bases faster. So I feel like it might be actually viable at the top level of the game. Maybe people might use Leo Prime still, people might use Sea Spray still, fine, but just another viable option maybe at this level, and maybe you can level him to have a bit of fun and give him a try. Still a bit of testing to do with him, I think, to see, but I think 3+2 is fair, and he's got good range as well. So yeah, I'll have to see how it goes, but interesting change. Next up, Huffer and Lockdown. So I actually want to try these guys out. Dale said they've changed the way the laser works. And I said to Dale, I said, the healing laser works alright. I don't mind the healing laser. The attack laser is awful. And then we've got Snarl and Hunger. And this is the top bot on my list. I said to Dale, you really need to sort this bot out. And he did something to it, which I'll tell you in a minute. And I was like, that's not enough. They did something else. I was like, that might not be enough. Is that bad? So what he has done is he has reduced his speed from 3.4 to 1.9, increased his health by 20% to 34k health when maxed, and reduced his cost from 4+3 to 3+2. And then the last little simple change is updating Ultra Magnus' tooltip to make more sense. It is a bit more clearer now, I think, than what it was. But yeah, interesting to see how it's been changed. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Any bots in there you think you're going to use and think that's going to make it more relevant and you feel like might have a second lease of life. Any bots in there you're just happy with? Any bots in there you think, you know what, I could probably do a bit more? Like for me, Snarl, I'll probably do a bit more. Really happy with Rust and Scavenger, and probably feel like Chromia and Fellback could probably be a bit more. I think a bit disappointed with that. I think it need a bit more maybe. But let me know what you guys think. That's the most important thing. Be a playtest for the day. Let me know what you would do with the bots. Is it just increasing the repeat cost, increasing the base cost? Do you change both just to compensate? Do we increase the attack speed? Do we make them faster, slower, increase their range? Let me know what you guys think in the comments.